All right, welcome everybody to another Metabolic Monday with your boy, the Metabolic Mentor, coming to you live every Monday, bringing you some of the best information in fitness, functional medicine, Western medicine, giving you answers to metabolism or workout information you just cannot get anywhere else. We're here to cut the fat on Metabolic Mondays. If you don't know who I am, I'm Vince Pitstick. I've been a functional nutritionist in the fitness and functional medicine field for over 18 years. I solve the complex cases that cannot be solved, and I'm here to answer your questions, solve your problems, and again, cut the difference between the real and the fake that's out there. You're hearing a lot of random ass information, and we like to trim the fat here, no pun intended, on Metabolic Mondays. I like to get interactive with you guys. I am known to give hundreds of dollars away of supplements, free courses at our university, or tickets to our events. So you may want to stay tuned the entire hour and make sure you drop a little something in the comments. So first off, drop where you're watching from and how crazy was your Monday? Was it a low stress Monday? Was it a 1 out of 10 or was it a crazy ass 10 out of 10 Mondays? Can't wait till it's over. Drop it in the chat. We want to hear from you below. Again, I reward people who are loud and proud in the chat. I also reward people who participate by dropping a question in our questions tabs on my stories. What's going on? We got East Tennessee, Ohio, Alaska, Connecticut, Tampa, Louisville. All right. Oh, 2 out of 10s, 1 out of 10s. Things are looking good. Alaska, crazy Monday. Well, the good news about Mondays is that they end. So that's good news, right? Colorado, Canada, Columbus, what's up? Georgia, 10 out of 10. Well, guess what? It's almost over. And hopefully I can make it a little bit better. Oh, hey, what's going on? We got Megan Del Corral, our resident nurse practitioner and head of Vital Med. First time here, referred by my coach, Dane Anderson. Love your content. Logan, Utah. Well, what's going on? Well, you're part of the Dane's family, so you're family. Make sure if you have any questions, drop it in the chat. And then my amazing team, either Cam from Metabolic Mentor University, or maybe even Megan if she hangs on for the next hour, or Waleed, one of my apprentice, will get to your questions in the chat. Actually, producer Malachi, make sure send a message to Waleed if you could real quick. I don't see him on here yet. Here we go. All right, why don't we answer a couple questions before we dive in? Why are GLP-1s expected to, GLP-1, go up a little bit, Malachi there. Let's see, why are GLIBs or GLP-1s, which is like semaglutide, expected to be forever? Even when addressing diet and lifestyle, weight comes right back on. Well, great question, PR Dawson. Well, most of the way that people are doing GLP-1s, I would say that is true. And when you're dealing with obesity, morbid obesity, it doesn't deal with the root cause, right? Morbid obesity or severe diabetes is usually a lifestyle-based disease that has a lot more to do with addictive, obsessive behaviors in your lifestyle than it necessarily has to do with the mechanism of action of gaining weight, right? So I think a lot of people who take GLP-1s, it's just gonna take their hunger away a little bit. They're not gonna follow correct diets that help maybe heal or balance functional symptoms. And so they're just gonna end up gaining. Everybody, look, let me be clear. Everybody in life is going to gain weight. The average is like 1 pound, 1.5 pounds a year, up to, some people, if they have slower metabolisms, is 1 to 1.5 pounds a month, right? Everybody, it doesn't matter who you are, tends to gain weight over time. The challenge is with GLP-1s is that, are you doing the right things to fix your metabolism by getting your hunger down and balancing sugars? And so for people using semaglutide the right way, if it's in fact necessary for your weight loss goals, depending on what you have going on with your body, it's absolutely not forever. So that's not to be expected. We don't do any programs. If someone needs that kind of care, we don't have them on it forever, and they stop working at some point as well. So the idea that they're going to take it forever, just isn't true. Take care of your health pillars, like our resident nurse practitioner, Megan, just says, take care of the fundamentals and your body should work. And you shouldn't have to worry about that too much. Go back up and see if we can answer a couple more questions. There was another question up there. Go up a little bit further. I need a release on GDA Max Plus. It is out there, man. People have been using it. It's awesome. Check it out. Go on to practitionerdepot.com, and you can get GDA Max Plus. That is the best sugar reducer, metabolism amplifier, I'd say fat inhibitor when you're feeding up on the market, hands down. How to treat post-concussion syndrome with headaches? Interesting. Well, I'll tell you this. One of the big things that I've recommended for a long time is chiropractic, particularly cranial sacral, not just general adjustments, cranial sacral. I also am a big fan of acupuncture. I like to try to change salinity of the cells and deal with people's, I like to flush people for sure. It seems to help. Again, you may be looking at some ALA, some PRPs to help get water hydration into the neurons. ALA helps nutrient absorption past the blood-brain barrier. A couple of those things I really like, so check those out as well if you would. All right, we're gonna dive in a little bit more to some of your questions. I have an amazing 45 minutes prepared for you guys. Some of this information I'm sure you've never seen before. We're gonna dive in, but before I do, real quick disclaimer, so I don't get in trouble. This is not medical advice. I am not a doctor. I am a functional expert, but do not treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Please see a functional practitioner or doctor before utilizing any of the information provided. All right, now that that crap's out of the way, join us in the 1-in-100 project. If you want to see medicine change, if you want to see disruption occur in the fitness and the medical industries, join our merrily band of, I guess we'll call it bandits or disruptors here at the 1-in-100 project. If you guys are interested, go to Facebook, put in 1-in-100, you'll find us. Please go ahead and drop in there. We drop all kinds of private information in there. We're in there educating, we're in there dropping discounts and updates that you cannot get anywhere else. So if you're like us, you're into functional medicine, you're semi-anti-Western medicine. We're not totally anti-Western medicine, but you get the deal. We are Western medicine adjacent. Come check us out, 1-in-100 project. All right, we also have our free Functional Health Coaching 101 event, February 27th and the 28th. It is the Functional Health Coaching 101, 2 days, 2 hours, one outcome, a better vision for a healthier and brighter future where functional health coaches and practitioners play a vital role. You're gonna hear private education that you can't get anywhere else from Dr. Carrie Jones. You're gonna get training from me. You're gonna get training from some of our business advisors, how you can start your own business. Again, it's jam-packed, so much value, information you can't get anywhere else. If you are interested, drop in the comments, interested, and either Cam or Waleed will send you the private link so you can sign up. There isn't many seats left. I think we've sold like we've had about over 200 registrants, so we can only take so many more, but it is free. So if you want to check it out, comment interested below, and one of my team members will DM you a private link. All right, let's keep going. So let's go ahead and dive into some of the questions that we got. That I think this is one I want to cover in depth. All right, so what's the root cause of hot flashes? This comes up for perimenopause and menopausal females. I hear this question a lot. Decline in estrogen, or do we avoid it if we're using estradiol in perimenopause? So this is a great question. I get it all the time. Let's break down hot flashes, how they work, what's been going on in the industry. This is a question that's going to come up a lot. So hot flashes and night sweats are the most bothersome complaint. It affects about 75% of women over the age of 50, right? So you get hot flashes, you get heat issues, you'll find sadness, anxiety, irritability. Your sleep quality will go down. You might have bladder health, like urinating a lot issues. You might have some joint issues, vaginal dryness. Menopause is not fun. Let's admit it, guys. Even perimenopause. And so physical and mental exhaustion. So this comes up a lot. And I get these questions a lot. So the overall mechanism of hot flushes, like flashes or flushes, is kind of unknown. They're still studying it as we go. Menopause is has a weird thermal neutral reduction, or a reduction in your thermal neutral zone that creates weird stress responses that pretty much involves the hypothalamus. So producer Malachi, if you could bring him on the head-on screen there, take a look at that. So You'll usually get stimulus from your hypothalamus, and then that's going to go down and have an odd stimulus of both your thyroid, adrenal glands, and your ovaries. So it's going to have an impact on your blood pressure and electrolyte balance. So you're going to be swollen a lot. It's going to have an impact on your energy metabolism. So your metabolic rate's going to slow down. It's going to have an impact on your body temperature. And your sleep cycle. So a lot of things kind of happen when you start to gear into perimenopause and menopause. We're gonna have to have Cam. I think she just joined. Can you go up, producer Malachi, and maybe send a message to Cam or to Caroline, the couple people that DM'd interested, so that he can reach out to them? Cam, we had some people reach out for the Functional Health Coaching 101. You were a few minutes late, buddy, and so we want to get them that private link so they can sign up for the event. If anybody else who just signed on are interested in coming to the Functional Health Coaching 101 event for 2 days, free training from me, Dr. Carrie Jones, dietitian Caroline O'Connor, and our amazing business team, go ahead and DM or comment interested, and then the Metabolic Mentor team will DM you privately the link. All right. So let's keep this thing going. So let's talk a little bit about how this happens. So why do people get hot flashes, right? Well, as we get older, our hormones decline, but it's a little bit more complex than that. So estrogen and progesterone withdrawal are not causal, yet they appear to be part of the trigger. So lifestyle plays a role in the change as well. The more that you eat very high sugar, high stress lifestyle, and the more alcohol that you drink, the more hot flashes you're certainly going to have. So they see that lifestyle plays a part. They said hot flashes are then triggered by small elevations in core body temperature, acting within this narrowed zone. So you'll notice women that tend to work out more, or that they're more stressed. Those women will have more hot flashes than women who do not. Right? So we know it's not all just estrogen and progesterone balance. We know that there's lifestyle factors that are also involved. But we also know the more that you put yourself into hot and cold temperatures, or the more that you push your body under stress, the higher the likelihood that you're going to have hot flashes. So it's this activation from the hypothalamus that seems to get a bit haywire. And we seem to see this common theme. People don't realize this, but in your body, it's particularly for women, you have alpha and beta estrogen receptor sites, okay? And your beta receptor sites are in your ovaries, your lungs, there's some in your uterus, your bladder, but alpha receptor sites are the ones that are on your liver, they are in your breasts, your bones, your nervous system, cardiovascular system. And so one of the things that we see happen is that when women go into menopause, they stay alpha active. All the beta receptors don't have any estrogen connecting to them, and what's left over is all alpha. So that's why a lot of women will tend to see that, okay, they start getting flushes, they might have different swelling, they might notice changes in breast tissue size as they go into menopause. They might some women can see an enlargement just because of swelling and activations only on alpha sites. And so you have this, when you get this imbalance to alpha and beta estrogen receptors, you tend to see more hot flashes, right? And so more stress will tend to draw that imbalance a little bit more. And so we tend to see that. And so we would prefer that anything you do in menopause, if it's going to be something supplemental for estrogen, is a beta agonist. And then if you're going to do things that are both alpha and beta agonists, that might be where you would do bioidentical hormone replacement therapy, right? BHRT, okay? So let's dive in a little bit more. What are some things that are available to everyone if they're having hot flashes? Well, there isn't much out there, but there is some. So for example, you can use hops, all right? And there's different forms of hops out there. There's limited studies. It doesn't do much to reduce hot flash reduction. It's relatively insignificant. There's red clover. Maybe you guys have seen red clover before. Red clover reduces hot flashes about 1 to half of 1 a day, which isn't that much. If you have ever talked to anybody with hot flash issues, they're not going to notice that difference that much. Soy isoflavonoids or isoflavones. This is where we're talking more about black cohosh and other phytoestrogens, essentially. And that you're going to get up to 1.5 reductions in hot flashes down to 0.3. So for some people, it doesn't work at all. For some, it's only marginal relief. And then your last one is like flax, right? Flax lignans, generally insignificant results. There is mild improvement depending on who you talk to get rid of hot flashes. And so again, you're stuck between red clover, black cohosh, some soy isoflavonoids. All of these really fall into a category of phytoestrogens for the most part. So one of the things that everyone should do when they're in perimenopause and menopause is eat a Mediterranean diet. There is no diet better on planet Earth for menopause. I don't care what anyone says. As a long-term maintenance diet, you may do other temporary diets like keto or, I don't know, high protein, low carb diets, temporarily, but if you do, those don't necessarily improve your night sweats or hot flashes like a Mediterranean diet would, because Mediterranean diets have the most phytoestrogens in them. What are phytoestrogens? Phytoestrogens are hormetic mimickers, so they will express or they will attach to the estrogen receptor site and create estrogen modulations in your body, a bit like having estrogen when you don't have any more. So that's why eating a phytonutrient-dense Mediterranean diet or lifestyle is going to give you somewhat of a result or relief, like you're eating or like you're on BHRT or like you're taking an agent to help reduce the symptoms related to menopause, specifically right now focusing on hot flashes and night sweats. But we will get into the anxiety and depression part of it. So there hasn't been much relief in this category without going to BHRT. I'm a big fan of using progesterone and estrogen and testosterone for women when they get into menopause. But let's hold that aside for a minute. There is one agent, that has been rocking the world in terms of helping significantly improve the symptoms related to night sweats and hot flashes. And so there's been this multi-center, randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled, and it got all the way up through phase 3 trials. Okay, it was again long-term efficacy. This is talking about the agent ER731. It has long-term efficacy. It has 1 and 2 year observational studies. It was done in over 70 gynecological centers, and it was 3 different multi-center prospective randomized double-blind placebo-controlled. So this meets my standards for really, really strong, high-quality, no bullshit research, okay? When it has these kind of standards. And so this is talking about ramponic rhubarb root, an agent inside of it. Now, you'll see it at the top is ER731, and they compared it to hormone replacement therapy. And then on the far right, you're seeing phytoestrogen therapy. And so they did a large sample size, and they found that over the course of 12 weeks and then into 48 weeks, they saw that the baseline hot flashes were around 12 in the ER731 category, and they saw a 72% reduction. Where at the same time, using hormone replacement therapy saw a 75% reduction. And then for phytoestrogens, that's again, as I told you before, using soy isoflavonoids or flax lignans or black cohosh or red clover, they saw maybe up to a 45% reduction at different times. So you saw a 72% reduction using ER731, which is actually ramponic rhubarb root, And they did that, of course, in the perimenopause and menopause group with amazing success. You never see this in this kind of reduction. So coaches, people dealing with these hormonal kind of issues, you'll see a huge reduction using Rapodic rhubarb root. So also, when women are dealing with low estrogen and they're dealing with anxiety or depression, particularly in perimenopause and menopause, after 12 weeks, right? Go to the front, producer Malachi. Out of the 39 women observed, there was a huge reduction in somatic anxiety and so like your central nervous system. Like if you can't calm down, like your nervous system is always upregulated and you can't calm down, or more like psychic anxiety, like in your head, like you're nervous, worried, concerned, can't calm down. Huge reductions. So I thought that was really interesting and I wanted to point that out to you guys. The product for that is Estrovera, just 1 tab a day, and it improves over 12 weeks. Again, even for someone that's got really, really low estrogen, that's dealing with hot flash-like symptoms or anxiety, it actually can work for that as well, just at 1 tab a day. It's very rare in the functional space that you'll ever see a natural agent work almost as well as a medication or a bioidentical hormone replacement. But this is one of those rare places. So super interesting. Wanted to shout out. Great question. I'll go ahead. We're going to go ahead and give a free bottle of Estrovera to my girl, Megan. Meg, if you can make sure to message Metabolic Mentor University and go ahead and drop that in there. We're going to go ahead and send you a free product. So congratulations. Thank you for participating. All right, next up, next question. Is low estrogen the only thing that can cause night sweats? This comes up a lot. I see night sweats a lot. If you're getting night sweats, there can be a lot of reasons for it. So some of the symptoms that usually go along with night sweats, particularly for females, but can for males too, is you'll see rapid heartbeat, you'll see elevated body temperature, right? You'll see profuse sweating and night sweats, hot flashes, disrupted sleep, and increased thirst. So if you're just dealing with night sweats, it's probably because you're activating your thyroid by eating carbs and training a lot. But if you are getting night sweats and you're getting rapid heartbeat and you're getting profuse sweating and you're getting disrupted sleep and a lot of thirst, then we might be concerned with maybe you're getting dysglycemia, right? Or you are super, super, super emotionally stressed, right? Now, if you're between the ages of 45 and 55 and you're getting these night sweats and you're having an elevated heart rate and you don't have a practitioner, I would highly suggest that you go see your doctor. It could be signs of a heart condition or an infection. Usually not, though. Typically, the reason that you're going to see night sweats or hot flashes, or in this case, night sweats, is usually because you either switch to a different thyroid supplement or adrenal supplement, you're training a lot, and you're eating, or you're trying to lose weight and you're getting dysglycemia, so your sugars are going too low at night. That's very common. We see that as part of like what you'll hear is the dawn effect, or more importantly, the Samoji effect. So the Samoji effect is when your sugars crash at night, and so then they spike back up really hard, and that will give people cold sweats. So usually you've got to change your nutrition around. You may want to add more fats and carbs at night to help, and maybe GDA Max Pro to help balance your sugars through the evening. Again, if you're really, really stressed or taking a lot of stimulants, this can activate this more. So keep that in mind. And so hopefully that helps. I tell you what we'll do for you. Go to producer Malachi, go to the page. Taylor, we're going to go ahead and low estrogen can be part of it. So if your estrogen's getting lower, it can certainly add to it. I would highly suggest you can take essential oils that have a little bit of estrogen in them, along with Progon B. You have to take them together. So Quicksilver has a cream estrogen that is added faint amount of estrogen, along with Progon B, because you never want to add a little bit of estrogen without progesterone. That can lead to cancer later. So you take a couple drops of Progon B 1 serving of essential oil, estrogen cream. You add that on, and that should knock out a lot of this. Also changing the way you eat at night. So if you're eating really far away from night and then you're getting the night sweats, I would try to eat closer to bed and see that helps, or do the opposite of that. And I would take GDA Pro. I'd also check out our Estrovera if you're training a lot and keeping your estrogen down. So we're gonna go ahead and send you 1 bottle of GDA Pro and our product of Estrovera. You guys can check that out. I think it'll work great for you. So thank you for participating, Taylor. All right, next question. Do I work with pregnant women? Actually, Vital Coaching, one of our biggest areas is fertility, pre and post baby. And we've actually helped just this year alone already help in my program, help 10 ladies get pregnant. I'm sure we can help you. Also make sure that you have a great pregnancy. Women don't realize that you should do genetics tests before you get pregnant or during your pregnancy. You have no idea how much different your pregnancy can be, and that you can affect the health of your child if you make sure to have adequate nutrients based on your genetic profile. Like maybe you need more methylfolate, maybe you need more B12, maybe you need more choline, maybe you need more magnesium. There's a lot of things to think about, and there's been a lot of studies related to epigenetics and mothers being adequately nourished based on their genetic profile as they go into getting pregnant or during their pregnancy, post-pregnancy. It can certainly help reduce the risk we've seen of postpartum depression. So it's something to be checking out. Our Pro 7, it's on our website, practitionerdepot.com or vitalcoaching.com. If your sugars go low at night, can that cause excessive thirst in the middle of the night? Absolutely can. Usually your sugars are going up first and then dropping. I would say one of the things that you make sure is you're adequately having enough electrolytes too. That can have a lot to do with it. So if you want to drink a little bit of Element or our new electrolytes as they come out, add some magnesium at night, maybe have that last meal with GDA Pro, and that may help balance out that thirst issue as well. Christina. All right, next question. Methylene Blue. I think you guys might want to sit down for this one. This is a good one. I really wanted to take some time with Methylene Blue. This is something that I waited a long time to talk about. I thought some of the early data on Methylene Blue for off-label purposes was a bit, what can cause you to wake up between 2:30 and 4 a.m.? All right, there's a lot of things that I can say about that. Again, it could be stress, right? So I would try our Cordy's first. It's usually stress. Okay, second, it can be the way that you're dieting. So you either need to eat further away from bed or closer to bed. But you can Google search it. There is a Chinese chi chart. It's like a sleep chart. And based on when you're waking up in the middle of the night, so I don't know if you know this, but your body kind of runs on a filtration system when you're in your sleep. So there, at different hours of the night, your body will switch to a different system and kind of start cleaning it out. Let's put it that way. And so if you were exactly, Emily, liver time, when you wake up around 1:30 or 2 every single night, that's when your body is actually working on the liver. So usually your liver's having issues, you're on too many meds or something's going on that's bothering your liver. Maybe you've been drinking too much or taking too much Tylenol or whatever it is. Usually around that 2 o'clock mark, your body's working on the liver. So if you wake up the same time, if there's something going on in a certain organ system, your body has a chart and it switches through like the kidneys and the liver and all the different organ systems as it cleans them out. And I found that chart works very, very well. You can check it out online. But if it's around 2 o'clock, it's usually your liver. So I'd add a product like Advoclear. I would increase my water. I would reduce any lifestyle stress if I'm consuming bad foods or alcohol or other medications. You can best believe that that's a part of it. Or you can do our flush. Go to vitalcoaching.com, do our flush for like $99. It will usually clear up all those sleep issues. That way you can just get it done 10 days. You'll be sleeping great. What's the best coffee enema? Yeah, that's if you don't mind the work of putting coffee up your ass, then yeah, it does work and it can help you get to sleep 100%. Although I would not do that at night because there is caffeine in the coffee, and that can keep you up at night. So do it during the day. Okay. Go back up a little bit real quick for me. Producer Malachi. All right, Fit Babe asks, what's the best supplement for electrolytes? It depends. If you're someone that's training and working out a lot, you're doing a lot of hot saunas and you're out in the heat a lot, I would recommend a higher sodium base. So I'd recommend like an Element. But if not, you're gonna wanna go with, there's a multiple good ones that are out there. That's why we're launching one that has Celtic sea salt in it, has the right balance of sodium, magnesium, potassium. You really, if you're only training some and it's more about the health benefits and energy throughout the day, you're gonna wanna bring that sodium content down from 1,000 milligrams per serving, probably around to 500 or 600, and then you're gonna wanna bring that magnesium up to 50 or 70, and that potassium up to 50 or 100. So it really depends on your activity output, what electrolyte layout is probably gonna be best for you, or you can just wait for about another 10 weeks, and then new lights will be out. That's New Ethics version. There'll be 3 different flavors. There'll be a lemon, lime, grape, and watermelon. They taste amazing. I love them, and we'll be out very, very soon. I'll be giving those away free once they drop, so you don't have to wait too long. When do your electrolytes drop? Karen, good question. 10 weeks. Not too much longer, about 10 weeks. Just give us a little bit more time. All right, let's get to Methylene Blue. If you have not heard of Methylene Blue, you should absolutely check it out. Now, I have been someone who has stayed away from the conversation about Methylene Blue for off-label topics, off-label reasons for a long time. The reason was a lot of times things come out when they first launched. It's like the new iPhone. Everybody wants to try it. Everybody's coming up with a reason why it's good. And then you find out later, oh, maybe it was some was like bullshit. I will tell you let me give you a perfect example. NAD. NAD in powder form, oral consumption, for the most part, is a complete joke, right? But all the NAD data that came out at first looked so amazing, and it was just people taking advantage of you. What I'll say is, so NAD, if you do suppository, or if you do NAD sometimes in shots consistently, or if you do 4-hour drips, or like at least 1 to 2 hour drips of NAD, it works a lot better. But again, NAD by and large was a big hype train that a lot of people get taken advantage of, okay? So you have to be kind of careful. So I'm always waiting for a while before I look at data over time, and then I do some clinical trials with it where I try it on a few clients, we'll try it on 10, 20, and see what we see over the course of 12 weeks. After watching Methylene Blue for some time now, I absolutely love it. I think Methylene Blue is great. We actually started carrying it at the problem is getting pure sources that you can trust. There's a lot of garbage ass Methylene Blue out there and supplement providers, so I don't trust it. So that's why I only want to get a pharmaceutical grade Methylene Blue. I don't want it in a supplement form. That's why our medical clinic Vital Med now has it, and we've been using more of a pharmaceutical grade Methylene Blue. Now, just so you guys know, Methylene Blue has been around for a very long time. It is actually approved by the FDA. So, but in specific instances, so there's certain conditions related to red blood cells, and also to help with viruses or to help disinfect or to help get oxygen up in the blood. So Methylene Blue has been around for about, I think, almost 20 years. So it's not like Methylene Blue is some random agent. They also give it for certain rare genetic diseases, but that's not why we use it today. People are using Methylene Blue in droves, and there's particular reasons that they're doing that. So there's a lot of studies that are now out on Methylene Blue. A lot of them, though, are either vivo or vitro. They're still doing more studies on human trials, but they do have some. For example, you'll see over in the far right-hand corner or left-hand corner as you're looking at your screen, you'll see this research looking at as a potential Alzheimer's treatment, and they did a comprehensive randomized control trials on it. So they are doing more human studies, which makes me more confident in Methylene Blue. And I'm actually making a big push to use Methylene Blue in autoimmune conditions, long-term viral conditions, so Lyme's, EBV, SIBO conditions. But once again, using a very potent form that comes from a pharmaceutical grade manufacturing, right? So how does methylene blue work as a disinfectant? Right? So methylene blue is a positively charged dye that is inherently attracted to acidic cell components, such as the cell nucleus, and a photosensitive compound that releases singlet oxygen, O2s, when exposed to visible ambient light. Then they become, singlet oxygen becomes kinetically unstable, and it attaches itself to lipid bilayers of, and that's a bit complicated, but just understand that it is attracted to attaching to acidic components like viruses, like bacteria. And so it works as this oxygenating disinfectant. So one of the things that it does is it brings oxygen into the body and helps convert red blood cells into a more sustainable ability to attract oxygen. So it can give you more energy, but it's also a disinfectant in that way, right? So here's kind of how part of it works. So you've got methylene blue as a component. It gets converted by ambient light inside the body. It turns into a singlet oxygen, right? So an O1 molecule, think of it that way. And then it will bind to things like viruses and bacteria. And then within 5 to 15 minutes, it will deactivate and break apart inactivated viruses. That's how methylene blue works, and that's super cool because it's not harmful to you, although you can have some die-off with it. It's not harmful to you. It actually oxygenates your body. So if you've been dealing with chronic symptoms for a very long time, methylene blue could be one of the breakthroughs in conjunction with the right diet and lifestyle and additional protocols around it. And again, there's a lot of clinical efficacy for this, right? So they've been using, if you get like athlete's foot or nail fungus, they've been seeing great results with methylene blue. It's been used for things as effective as malaria. So if they're using methylene blue for things like malaria, I think it would be pretty effective for other bacterias and viruses and things like that in the body. One of the things that we use it for now at Vital Med and in our program is methylene blue. What it does, the dye is absorbed in large amounts and gets into rapidly dividing cells, like cancer cells. So it can help get into cells and find things like cancers, parathyroid gland issues, or other lymph nodes. They think that methylene blue assists with autophagy, calming the immune system down and helping your body get rid of and identify unhealthy cells. This is the really cool potential future. Methylene blue is being seen as a longevity agent. And so usually the dose that you'd want to take as we look at this is about 25 milligrams, 5 to 7 days a week, probably 5 days on, 2 days off. We're seeing really good result with it. Again, all it's doing is oxygenating your body and helping you clear you of potential viruses by attaching itself to the lipid bilayer of viruses, bacteria, things of that nature, and helping calm symptoms related to overactive immune function or chronic disease. So methylene blue is a new and exciting, it's not new as an agent, it's been around for, again, about 25 years, but as a longevity agent, as a antibacterial viral in terms of systemic chronic issues, it is being used off-label in all kinds of new and exciting ways. So we're excited about it. We use it in our programs. So I would definitely be checking out methylene blue, but I would do it only through pharmaceutical sources. And like our team at Vital Med, if you're interested in getting yourself some pure methylene blue, check out vitalmed.com. I think it is a great option and something that, again, we really like, and it's got a lot of medicinal properties, so something worth checking out. At this time, we want to go ahead and take any other questions from the crowd. Go ahead and drop in the chat if you got a question. Remember, we love rewarding people that are loud and proud in the chat. So let's see, if somebody drops a good question or a good comment, I'm going to go ahead and give some products away. Go ahead and go all the way down there, producer Malachi. Let's see what people got. Keep going down for me all the way back to the beginning. All the way back to the, not the beginning, sorry, all the way down to the current. Go back to where people are at now so we can see fresh comments.
Understood.
Fresh comments. See if anybody's got any questions for me today. See what we got. Letting people. Best sleep supplement combo. Ooh, great question. I would say that the best combo is usually some form of liposomal GABA with about 5 to 10 milligrams of melatonin and a little bit of L-theanine, maybe some phosphatidylserine. And so we've got that in liposomal relax. But as a topper, I'm telling you right now, kava oil. Kava is really good. I like it. I don't use it all the time. For some people, it might irritate their digestion, but I'm telling you, you combine, like, you can do magnesium threonate and kava. Those are good too, but to knock it out, I'd start with liposomal relax, like we have at New Ethics. And then if it still isn't good enough, drop a little bit of liposomal kava or drop a little bit of kava tea. Incredible result. We'll go ahead and hook you up. Liposomal relax coming to you, Courtney. Go ahead and drop a message to Metabolic Mentor University, and they will get all of your information, and we'll check out our liposomal relax. I think you'll love it. Have swollen lymph nodes. Is there anything that can help till I get into my doctor? Well, having swollen lymph nodes usually would imply that your body was dealing with some sort of either temporary or long infection. That infection may already be gone. I love a product called lymphatic drainage. And then also, again, if you have any allergy-like symptoms going on or flu-like symptoms, I'm a huge fan of glutathione and colloidal silver in a nasal spray. It's called, I love this, keep it around. It will get rid of anything. It is the most, it's called Glutastat. It was made by Dr. John Lawrence. I'm a big fan of his work out in Sarasota. And so 2 sprays up each nostril, Glutastat, use 2 twice a day lymphatic drainage. And that can help start clearing out some of those lymph nodes. But until you get rid of some of the infection or the initial inflammatory response from coming in contact with something, whether it was foodborne, airborne, whatever, it might take a second for that to drain. Increase your water. You can also dry brush. Dry brushing to help your lymphatics drain can be helpful too. There's great videos on YouTube about lymphatic brushing or lymphatic massage. What do you recommend for someone that has osteoarthritis? Okay, really good question. So if it's osteoarthritis, all right, the product that I love most, well, one, first off, they better be on a complete bone matrix, okay? Most calcium is garbage. People, if they're still on coral calcium, for the love of God, it's a joke, it's a lie. You have to have pure MCHC, microcrystalline hydroxylate calcium, okay? And that's pulverized cow bone that has all of the bioactives and type 2 collagen that's still intact. Most bone supplements have been pulverized or heated, or steamrolled, and it takes all the live type 2 collagen out of them. We talked about collagen protein last week with good success. So I would start with the right bone matrix to support preventing. In fact, there was research on Cal Appetite Bone Builder that within a year, it could increase or halt bone thinning or increase bone density up to 10%. You want to take full dose of that, which is like 3 twice a day. Start there. The next thing we'd be looking at is SCRMs, selective kinase response modulators. I really like Osteovantiv. Osteovantiv has pure type 2 collagen in it, shown to be 5 times more effective than glucosamine chondroitin. Take 2 BID of that. Mediterranean diet, also periods of fasting. I can't say enough about it. In fact, we're going to go ahead and hook you up. Well, I tell you what, let me check out. One of the great products is also creselazine, and that we make that in New Ethics. It's called New Flame. We're going to go ahead and hook you up. We're going to send you a free bottle of New Flame. Take 2 twice a day. I would also do that, again, with either Cal Appetite Bone Builder. Go ahead and send both to Christina. Christina, send a message to Metabolic Mentor University. We'll get that out to you. What mushroom stack would you prefer? What's up, Tamisha, Seth? What mushroom stack would you suggest for memory for those over 60? Really good question. So the first thing I would start with, I'm a big fan of cordyceps. Okay? Big fan of cordyceps. I love lion's mane, right? Huge fan of cordyceps and lion's mane. And I would probably add a little bit of turkey tail and then start thinking about blood flow and oxygen, right? So sometimes those agents don't get into the brain. And so I like ALA. So if I had to give you a little bit of a trick, whatever mushroom substance you're going to give it with about 200 milligrams of ALA or some ginkgo. So for example, there's a product called Brain Clear that I think has the ginkgo and some of those mushrooms and the ALA already in it. Check out Brain Clear. If not, any one of those herbs has many medicinal properties. Lion's mane is better. It's good for blood flow, by the way. It increases a vasodilator, right? So, if I was dealing with, if I've got someone that's gotten cognitive decline or is a little bit older and is trying to stay sharp, right? I'm looking at cordyceps, lion's mane, turkey tail, but I'm giving it with some ginkgo and ALA because the ALA is going to pull the ginkgo into the brain, right? So take a look at that. Check that out. With hypoxic training, okay, cool. Yeah, having some benefits towards hypertrophy. Would using methylene blue in conjunction with low rest, higher volume weight training have additional benefits towards gaining muscle? That's a really interesting question. I've been thinking about. Now, I will say hypoxic training has mixed research. It looks good, and I think it does work, right? But there is conflicting evidence on hypoxic training, although I think it's great, and I think you should definitely continue with it. But you're going to have people that are, that are going to disagree with you. I will say that. But once again, it takes us 20 years of observing. That's why research is so fucking slow. You're going to get research that's pro and con, and then 20 years later, we're going to go, oh, it looks like protein's good for muscle. Anyway, that's what it seems. I am now using methylene blue for oxygenation status and also using other things. One of the things that I made a mistake early on is I would pump people full of nitrogen oxide. And you know what I learned? I'll tell you this, because I was trying to open up vasodilation. Nitrogen oxide, when it causes massive NO2 expansion, it actually suppresses stomach acid production. That's why most pre-workouts lead to stomach acid issues. Plus, a lot of them are junk. But what I noticed is I was giving everybody indigestion when I was trying to use these different things. So now, if I'm going to use I want to increase oxygen, right? So I might have been using, for example, niacin, right? Nicotinamide, right? So flush niacin, like lion's mane, right? If you're going to use NO2, then for 2 hours post NO2 use, you need to give people betaine hydrochloric acid, or you'll give them gut issues over time. That's why every dude that's on pre-workout's got some gut issues over time. Because you're lowering betaine hydrochloric acid, food is sitting in your stomach undigested, proteins putrefy, fats acidify, and carbohydrates ferment. And so I've been looking at different ways of oxygenating people. So to your point, with hypertrophy training, I've been looking at the potential use of methylene blue. And again, you are exactly right, with higher volume. So yes, I think there's no data on it right now, but I would absolutely be interested in looking at that. And that's where my mind goes. So I love your comments, man. You know what? Let's hook him up. By the way, I absolutely love our essential energy to stimulate dopamine instead of going like caffeine route or other pre-workout route. Let's go ahead and send my man our essential energy, and let's throw in our GDA Max Pro. Brother, you've never seen a better GDA Max on the market. You want something that's better for muscle? GDA Max Pro is sick. And so let's go ahead and send DDT Method both of those. Thank you for your comments. I appreciate it. All right, let's keep it rocking. What do we got next? Hormonal, go down a little bit more. Oh, you're right. Sorry, Malachi. BB33 said, what would you recommend for tight stomach with inflammation? Well, usually if you feel like you have a tight stomach and food is sitting full on your stomach lining, usually you're dealing with low stomach acid. So I would use glutamine, and like you can get like clear aloe juice, glutamine and aloe juice, and I would take Metagest 2 with larger meals, and that should knock it out. Support for menopausal joint pain while you're getting your HRT sorted out. I love a product called, well, first, Mediterranean dieting, sleeping more, low stress, but inflavonoid intensive or rapid relief. Inflavonoid rapid relief, take 2 twice a day. It's supposed to work on contact. Start there. Go all the way down so that they can see the screen at the same time. We'll get to some of those other ones. Go all the way down, all the way down. Okay, let's see. Thank you. Let's see what we got. Would low magnesium and low iron affect your sleep? Low magnesium certainly could, absolutely. And low iron and oxygen status, absolutely. So you're going to want to take a product like Hemogenics or Optiferrin C. You're going to want, like I said, a little bit of iron glycinate, a little bit of vitamin C support all together. Take one of those products, and I think you should see it. I would use for sleep magnesium threonate, right? Magnesium threonate, all right? Some people have seen results with magnesium malate, but I would go threonate. All right, let's go up. Let's answer 1 or 2 more questions for everybody. Let's see what we got. Go up a little bit further. Know you love cold therapy, but thoughts on infrared sauna. So for people that are generally healthy, infrared sauna in terms of medicinal properties and tissue reproduction and general stimulation of heat shock proteins, and I like it a lot, 100%. I think it's really good to do cold and heat therapy together. I really like that as well. I do not feel that heat therapy is as good for everybody as they say, though. Most people already have upregulated ANSs, particularly women. I think heat therapy is much better for men than it is women. Unless you're dealing with a woman under the age of 28, she's probably fine. But women with upregulated ANS, okay, high level nervousness, anxiousness, anxiety, they're not going to get improvement by doing heat therapy. All right, it's only going to make it worse because heat upregulates the autonomic nervous system. Cold downregulates. So until women can learn, if they're having trouble with this anyways, to control their autonomic nervous system, I don't like heat. I just don't. I don't think it might be good in the moment when you do hot yoga, but it's just going to stress you out and make you more swollen later, right? So unless you got really good control of that, that's why I like to see both. If you're going to do hot, then get some cold shock proteins, right? But, you know, I still say infrared, you know, I'm getting a sauna ourselves, which is great, myself. But remember, steam sauna is still better than infrared sauna, even though infrared sauna pierces deeper through the skin and different layers of tissue. Infrared does have some healing properties. They do notice that as well. Cognition, dopamine function, but so do steam saunas. I'd say a little bit more healing on the infrared sauna side. You know, if you're trying to heal tissue or recover from a post-workout, you know, it certainly has some benefit. What do you recommend? Green1 asks, what do you recommend to prevent bladder stones? That one's particularly interesting. So it depends what kind of stone you're talking about. So the bladder can develop like calcium stones, uric stones, depends what kind of stone you're talking about. My suggestion to you is potassium citrate. I like a product called Ultra Clear Renew. Silica, natural silica is actually really good for it as well. I like that. And I like low oxalate based diets. But, you know, but if you're talking about bladder stones, it depends what kind. You know, usually it's the same thing it would be for kidneys, right? So your kidneys, low oxalate diets, low uric acid based diets. I really love Ultra Clear and a product called Optimal Kidney Pro and potassium and magnesium citrate. You know, those things usually work really well. All right, everybody, we're going to go ahead and close it out. Remember, if you go ahead and you share this live, let people know about the secret. Don't keep me to yourself. Help me out. Get the word out there for you. And we do the Hybrid Health Summit replay just dropped. All of our amazing speakers that we had from the Hybrid Health Summit. Carrie Jones, the list goes on and on. Rachel Shear, Bedros Koulian, Nick Santosantos. We had so many people. Santanastasso. I apologize. And so many amazing presenters all came together for a 3-day extravaganza. Jordan and Aaron Duggar, some other great entrepreneurs in the functional and coaching space. We're giving the ticket away for free. Just share this and tag me in it, and then you'll be in the entry to win, and I'll announce it next Monday. I want to appreciate you all. Thank you. Don't forget to sign up for the Functional Health Coaching 101 2-day education event, February 27th to 28th. I'll see you all there. Peace.